All right. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to our call tonight, our Zoom. I am Dr. Stacy Holweger. I am so excited to share with you guys the information tonight on the stem cell activation technology and the other patches with LifeWave. I am excited to also answer all of your questions. So hang on to your questions. Don't type them in the chat yet because a lot of people are saying, hi, and that kind of stuff, and I don't want to miss any. So the way this format's going to work tonight is I'm going to share a little bit about our science and technology, how this patch works, how all the patches work, and then of course be able to answer your questions. But I will answer the frequently asked questions. I know we have a lot of guests on here tonight, so thank you for joining us. I do want to let you know, first of all, that obviously I am not your doctor. I'm also not a medical doctor. I have a PhD in integrative medicine and functional medicine. So my focus is on all types of things holistic and all natural things that are alternative and different ways to help the body to get back into balance. So my practice has been in holistic health for 20 years, and I have focused on nutrition and detoxification and supplementation and real life experiences with my family over the last 20 years. So I will share with you specifically LifeWave information tonight, of course, and then answer your specific questions about that as we come to the end. So grab your notebook, grab your pen or pencil, and you might want to jot a few things down so we can make sure that you get the questions answered that you came here tonight for. So let's start off by talking about what this technology is and how it works. So I'm going to talk to you about the X39, the stem cell activation patch. Okay, this patch is looks like a little round band-aid, right? It is a non-transdermal patch. I'm going to open up a brand new one here. I use them and they get sticky and they get they lose their stick and they get yucky because I'm constantly doing these Zooms like this, sharing. So this is what it looks like. This is a non-transdermal patch. Now you're probably very familiar with transdermal patches like nicotine patch, pain patch, estrogen patch, things like that. And those are putting or transferring a substance or a chemical into the body. That's why it's transdermal, right? Dermal means skin, trans means transfer. And so this is non-transdermal. So yes, it does work with the skin, but it's not actually transferring anything into the body. And so I want to share with you how that works. And then of course, what this means for you and how it can help you as well too. And so what you're going to do is in the morning, you're going to put your patch on. You're actually going to put it on the back of the neck, CV7, or you can put it below the belly button, or honestly, you can stick it anywhere. Put it on your big toe. It doesn't matter. It's working systemically, which means all over your body, throughout the body. We have over 90 clinical studies with this technology. And so we have shown through the clinical studies with people through blood and urine tests that we can see that the stem cells are actually mobilized and activated and elevated throughout the entire body. So it doesn't matter where you stick it. A lot of times we're used to, oh, if it hurts, I'm going to put it right here and it's going to work. You can stick it on your big toe and it's still going to impact your shoulder in a positive way, I promise. So you're going to put it on in the morning, okay? Stick it on the back of your neck, say, or below your belly button, but I'm going to stick it right here for purposes of you guys being able to see it, okay? And so you're going to put it on. You're going to leave it on 12 hours. During the 12 hours, you're going to stay super hydrated. All right, this is the fun part. Half your body weight in ounces in water every day. We want to make sure you're hydrated. Your cells need that water for the conductivity with the way this technology works, okay? And we know as you age, your cells are more and more dehydrated. That's just part of the aging process. If you consume coffee or alcohol, anything that's caffeinated, sodas or whatnot, they're going to dehydrate your body. So staying extra hydrated is super important. And if you live here in Florida like I do, and it's still 90 degrees outside, it's hot. We still need lots of water down here as well as our normal water, right? So you're going to put it on. What's going to happen when you put it on? I don't know. I don't know that you're going to experience anything, to be honest with you. You may not feel a single thing when you put it on. I know I didn't feel anything. Now, my friend Laura had some pain in her shoulder, and that shoulder pain was gone in 20 minutes. I was like, wow, that's fantastic. I wish it worked like that for my husband, who's had ankle pain and arthritis and back pain and stuff like that. It took about a week before his pain went away. But for some people, they do feel something initially. About half the people feel like maybe a tingling or a warm sensation, something like that. So I don't want you to think that you're going to experience something the second you put it on. And if you don't feel something, that it's not working. It doesn't work that way. Okay. So I'll explain to you this tech and how it works, and you'll see why this is a long-term thing that you're going to use months for regenerative purposes. So you put it on, and it's going to go to work to activate, elevate, mobilize your own stem cells. Now, you guys, we all have stem cells. We have an abundance of stem cells. We're born with an abundance. That's why kids are so young. They have boundless amounts of energy. They go nonstop. They fall just anywhere. It doesn't matter. Crowded room, and boom, they're asleep. They're out like a light, and nothing wakes them up, right? And then they're just, they say Johnny's riding his bike and he falls over and breaks his wrist, and he just gets up and keeps going. That's because those stem cells are always working to repair his body, keep him young and youthful. 5-year-olds don't have heart disease, and 10-year-olds don't have back pain, right? They have an abundance of stem cells. But as we age, our body is making less and less stem cells. Those stem cells become less active. And so by the time we're in our 30s, you've got about half of your stem cells working around. You think about when you got into your 30s, and maybe you are in your 30s. I don't know. You walk in the room, you're like, why did I walk in this room? What's going on in here? Let me turn around, walk out, and try to come back in. Or you're like, oh, these things my back's hurting. What is happening? Or you start to get the crow's feet on the side. You're not sleeping as deep as you used to. That's just your body's ability to repair itself has slowed down. And again, that's part of the aging process, right? So by the time in your 60s, there's literally less than 10% of those stem cells active in your body. And so this technology, when you apply this to your body every single day, it's going to say, hey, let's go. Let's get those stem cells moving again. And you know what? Hey, let's just go ahead and reset them. Let's reset a third of your genes back to their young, youthful, divine, perfect state. That's what this technology does. So this is not putting stem cells into your body. It's asking your body to do what it did when it was younger, which is have an abundance of stem cells that are mobile and active in the body to repair and regenerate, rejuvenate and restore, and help the body to live its best life, right? To be into balance, into homeostasis. And how does this happen? How is this working? Well, remember I said it's non-transdermal. Nothing's going into the body. But if you look on the inside of this patch, you'll see that little white disc. Okay, so here's the fun part. This is a wearable light technology. And what that means is our body is light. We emit a low-level infrared light. Or if you put your hand on your chest, you can feel that you're emitting heat. Body heat. You better be 98.6-ish, right? And so if we went outside right now, we wouldn't be able to see anybody. Like last night, the trick-or-treaters, right, coming to the front door, you couldn't see them coming up unless you were looking through night vision goggles. And you would see the outline of the body, in the colors, right? Red, blue, green, orange, whatever. And that's from the heat or light that's being emitted off of the body. That's how you can see people at night with night vision goggles. So that is what this technology is working with. So we are light. We know that. We put the patch on our body. Embedded in that white part is a proprietary blend of organic amino acids and sugars, water, oxygen, and basically that forms this crystal lattice structure. And our body's light reflects back a specific wavelength of light from that structure. Okay, so this is a wearable light technology. You may not understand that. That may not make sense to you. I'm sure you're familiar with red light therapy, right? How many of you guys have seen those red pads, or maybe you know a facility, a wellness center that has a red light therapy bed, or maybe you're the girl that does your facial, puts the red light in front of your face for collagen and elastin production. So light does something to our body, right? Outside light source. Okay. When I used to take my daughter to the acupuncture, we would use red light or blue light, depending on what we were trying to accomplish on specific acupuncture points to help her body instead of putting needles in. So the light would signal the body and do something. Okay. So that's common. We know if we go outside in the sun during the day, the sun's light The ultraviolet light, right, the specific wavelength of light is increasing our vitamin D. So light does things. Well, our body is the light. We don't need the sun. We don't need any outside light source. We put this patch on, our body's light reflects back a signal, a specific wavelength of light, and that wavelength increases our body's own stem cell production. Ta-da! That's it. It's really that easy. Put it on in the morning, like I said, leave it on 12 hours, stay really hydrated, of course, take it off, throw it away, or put it in your pet bed or put it on your pet collar if you have a pet that you want to keep young and youthful too. So what do people experience with this patch? Like, what are you going to notice? Well, like I said, I don't know that you'll notice anything. This is not designed for you to feel something immediately in order for it to be working. It's working the second you put it on. It's calling your stem cells up to go back to work the way they did when you were younger, to repair your cells, your tissues, and your organs in whatever order your body needs. So I ask you tonight to take that piece of paper and a pen that I asked you to get out and make a list of all the things that are bothering you, your symptoms, your aches, your pains, your sleep, your memory, your fatigue, your energy level, your clarity. Maybe there's, digestive issues. Maybe there's anxiety. Think of some things that are going on with you that you'd like to cross off that grocery list of problems, right? Write those issues down. And those are the types of things that this technology will go to work for you, because your body has its own innate ability to know how to heal itself, right? Like I said, you were born with an abundance, all stem cells, all cells were stem cells, and then they turned into other cells. And so by causing your body to do this again, it's going to go to work to repair whatever you need. And you may say, you know what, my shoulder hurts. I need my shoulder fixed. Or, oh, I've herniated discs in my back. I need my back repaired. Well, we don't know that that's the most pressing issue inside of your body. Your body's stem cell may say, hey, we've got to go to work to fix this person's heart. This is much more important than their herniated disc. They don't even realize it. But that's the beautiful thing, that we actually can repair and regenerate with stem cells, our own stem cells, and know that those things will get checked off your list, okay? But we can help you with some immediate issues if you're in pain and things like that too. I'll talk to you about a pain patch or pain protocol here in just a little bit. But I wanted to make sure you understood the technology, how it works, how to apply it, take it off, and do it day after day, week after week, month after month. How long do I wear the patches? Well, you wear them. The general rule of thumb is based on your age. So if you are 50, then you're going to be wearing them for 5 months, 60 is 6 months, 70 is 7 months. Or I always tell people, just stop wearing them whenever you want to start aging again. We can see from research that it is reversing the cells and tissues and organs in the body, reversing the functionality. We can see huge improvements, for example, in the cardiovascular system. Around 6 weeks in, we can see that our cardiovascular, entire vascular system is functioning about 8 weeks younger. And so that means that it's repairing itself as if it were 8 weeks younger than it were before. And so that compound effect is huge when you think about what's going on inside of your body that you really don't even know about. You have these physical issues, right? Or maybe mental or emotional things that you would like to work on, but what's really happening inside? And so that compound effect of repair and regeneration and restoration and rejuvenation means that your body is going to become younger and younger and younger on the inside. Now, if it happens on the outside too, that's fantastic. But we really want to focus on helping you have the best quality of life. And this does that without any side effects, without any interactions with what you're currently doing. There are no contraindications to medications or to supplements or tinctures or homeopathic different types of remedies or even therapies or modalities. I was speaking with a man today that was talking about his practice that he has and using bioresonance devices and energetic work and doing PRPs and things like that with his patients. And he said, are there any interactions with, any other type of stem cell modalities, whether it be injections, pulling your own blood out, putting it back in, or even PRP? And I said, absolutely not. This can only complement. He does ozone therapy. This can only complement what you're currently doing. If you're on medications, there are no contraindications because nothing's going into the body. So there's nothing to interact with what you're taking. That's the beautiful thing about this. There are no side effects. Now, of course, like I said, I'm not your doctor. So please check with your healthcare provider, your practitioner, your doctor, if you have any questions, of course. But we know that from clinical studies, we can see that the participants, many of them on different medications or supplements, had no issues whatsoever. So definitely very safe, easy, effective, and affordable. It's like the price of a cup of coffee a day. I know 20 years ago, I banked both of my kids' cord blood, and I spent $2,500 per child doing that, and then $100 a year storing it for 18 years. So that is, that was not that expensive, but still, I spent over 10 years doing different types of stem cell therapy in and out of the country with my daughter, many different types. I spent over $100,000 out of pocket. This literally is the price of a cup of coffee a day. It's very effective. It's very affordable. It's very easy. I love that you put it on and you just go about your day. Set your timer to take it off 12 hours later. You don't want to leave it on past that. And if you do, you're not going to turn to a pumpkin or anything later that night, but you'll just have to wait the next day and not wear it, because it's designed to wear 12 hours and work with your body for 12 hours. And then your body needs a break. Okay. It's just like your lights that you have on. They need a break. If you left them on all the time, they're going to wear out faster. And our body's like, nah, I don't want to, you don't want it to get used to it. You want to say, okay, signal, let's do this. All right, now give me a break. And that's really the important thing, is that you take it off after 12 hours. And then if you do happen to forget, I did that once last week when I put one on my lower back and I was like, I forgot. I woke up the next morning and I'm like, I always count patches, because I wear a lot of different patches during the day. So I count them. I'm like, do I have all of them off? And I'm like, where's that other patch? It must have fallen off. I don't know. Sometimes, I put a lot below my belly button, and who can keep track? So I was like, it's fine. And then the next morning I found it on my lower back and I was like, dang it, I'm gonna have to wait 24 hours, but it's fine. I didn't turn into a pumpkin. It's okay. So you can, that happens sometimes, but basically, you guys, that's kind of the gist of this. I do want to share with you, because a lot of you are going to ask me about your specific issues, your diseases, your syndromes and disorders, and I can't speak directly to them. I don't want to make any medical claims, obviously, at all. So I can talk about the systems and the organs in the body and how this technology will impact them. But I want to give you a little bit of information real quick about David Schmidt, the inventor of this technology, and how this came to be. And then I want to talk to you about the number 1 and 2 patches for anybody and everybody to always use. So David was working for the Navy SEALs about 20 years ago. He was contracted by the Department of Defense government contract to work with the SEALs and invent things for them on their mini sub missions that they were on. And they had asked him to come up with something to see if he could add, value to their project, where the SEALs were working. They needed help with oxygenation and whatnot. And he found that the SEALs were on a lot of amphetamines and caffeine and uppers, and they were not doing real well days on end on mission. And so he came up with the idea, was downloaded or given the information by the divine, to create a non-transdermal patch that actually turned body fat into fuel and triggered beta oxidation. And so that patch was called Energy Enhancer, and it worked really well for the SEALs, and things were going great. And then 9/11 happened. And you guys remember that here in the United States, of course, what happened with the World Trade Centers. And so the Department of Defense obviously took a very different turn, not to work on mini subs and the Navy SEALs, but to protect our country and to bear more arms. And so they stopped that project. And David thought, this is a great idea to help people. The energy drink craze was out 20 years ago, and people were not doing real well with all of those. We saw athletes, kids drop dead on the football field from trying to just get that extra, upper edge of caffeine and whatnot. And so he decided to get a hold of a friend of his that was a Stanford swim team coach. And he took it to the Stanford swim team. It worked really well. And then, of course, from there, it went to the USA Olympic swim team. If you guys remember, like the 2008 Olympics, where the USA Olympics swept the gold. And then there was this huge controversy, like, what do the Olympians have on? You can't put anything in the body, and no substances. And of course, they did all their research and whatnot, and found that, of course, nothing was entering the body. So the Olympics were swept by the USA that year, the swim team, and all the golds, because of the Energy Enhancer gave them a huge upper edge. So what happened was David decided to start his own company after doing clinical studies and finding all this, these benefits, and he had ideas for other patches. So over the last 20 years, Okay, 20 years. David has invented a dozen patches, very specific patches to help the body improve its quality of life. Things that like increase glutathione or melatonin or decrease inflammation or eliminate pain on the spot. And so each patch does something very different. So it works individually, but yet these patches work synergistically as well too. So when I say I have on many patches throughout the day, that's because I like to target different areas and different things in my body, and I can share that with you as well too. But David always talks about the number 1 and number 2 patch. And so first of all, the X39 has only been out for 3 years. Remember I told you he's been inventing these for 20. So this was the number 1 selling patch that the company had for over 10 years, and it's called Eon, or some people say Aeon because there's an A, but it's silent. This patch reduces inflammation. And we know that inflammation is the root cause of disease in the physical body. We can see that, right? How many of you go to your doctor and they're like, oh, you're full of inflammation. They look at your blood work and they're like, oh, your inflammatory markers are through the roof, and la, 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 what do they put you on? Anti-inflammatories, right? Or tell you to change your diet. So this patch signals a different peptide, right? One in the liver that reduces inflammation in your body, many different inflammatory markers. It also puts your body in a really nice parasympathetic state. So that calm, rest, relax, digest state. So when you use the X39 that increases your body's own stem cell production, at the same time that you are reducing inflammation, I call this the dynamic duo, because you set your body up for a more rapid repair and regeneration process. It's happening faster because you're addressing the root cause. At the same time, you're repairing the root cause. Now, what if you don't use the Eon at the same time? Well, we know this is scientific. Remember, everything I'm sharing with you are facts and data information, okay? This is not our testimonial Zoom that we normally do throughout the week. So based on the research and the science, we can see that when you have inflammation, say you've got lack of, range of motion, you have shoulder pain issues, things like that, this area is inflamed. Okay. And so if you injected stem cells into the body, then the body is those stem cells are going to go right to where the inflammation is. It wants to reduce the inflammation, to reduce the pain, to reduce the damage and what's happening and repair that area, which is fantastic. The problem is, say you inject 2 million stem cells, well, that inflammation is going to consume the majority of them. You may only be left with 200,000 to repair your body. It's just the way it works. So what if we address the inflammation issue, which we all have inflammation in our body, whether it's from diet, lifestyle, stress, surgeries, injuries, accidents. We all have inflammation. I'm not saying you want to get rid of it. It has its purpose, but we want to reduce it. We want to keep it in a healthy level. That's what this product does. And remember, your body knows how to repair itself. It was created that way. And so this technology signals your body to do what it was supposed to do, which is to be into balance, to bring that inflammation into balance. The same time you're increasing your own stem cell production, boom, dynamic duo, anything and everything you guys are going to ask me about tonight with what's going on with you. And of course, you're just going to give me your symptoms. You're not going to give me your diseases or disorders, but everything you're going to ask me, I'm going to tell you this is your starting point. This is your starting point for every single thing. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be in any type of holistic practice or health field at all to share with your friends and family members and people you care about and love that this is their starting point. X39 and Eon. These two are where everyone needs to start. This is where I started. It's where my daughter started, my husband started, my son started. We all started with these two patches. And then we've added on some since then, of course. So that's a personal choice based on what's going on with you. And I will, of course, address some of the other patches because you're already asking, right? So as far as patches during the day, again, there are a dozen patches, and so they're all meant to be used during the day with the exception of 2. X39 is always a daytime patch and X49 is always a daytime patch, right? But Alavita and Silent Night are for nighttime. Some of the patches like Eon or Carnosine or Glutathione, Icewave, you can use those at night too. It's either or, but I like to keep all of them during the day. And then at night, I put on my Alavita. I don't have sleep issues, so I don't need Silent Nights. But Nirvana, things like that can be day or night. It's a personal choice. Okay. And a lot of people like Eon 2 at night because they like that calm, rest, relax, digest, like help their body get in that relaxed state before bedtime. If you put it below your belly button, that's the triple warmer spot. If you look at traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture spots and meridians. And so people like to help themselves kind of calm down at night. And that's what the Eon can do for that. So definitely you can do day or night, whatever works best for you. It's a personal choice. So somebody asked about leukemia, and of course, you know, you're probably you definitely have an oncologist, CLL, that you are working with, and the person that invited you can share. We do have several people that have shared their personal experiences and testimonials using this technology that have CLL, so they can pull those up off our Telegram to share with you so you can hear from them. But that's going to be a personal choice, as it is with anything that's going on in your life. The days that you would take chemo, and sometimes with CLL, you're on a low dose chemo that's consistent. So I will share with you that the people that I personally know that are on low dose chemo, because of CLL, they patch every single day. They have no issues with that. But if you're going through different types of cancer treatments, of course, always check with your doctor, please. But people wear the patches on the days that they are not receiving chemo or radiation. As far as women that are pregnant or nursing, we don't have any clinical studies on pregnant or nursing women for obvious reasons using this technology. Remember that there's nothing going into the body. And so nothing is going to interact with what is happening in the body. It's only going to help the body get into balance. That is a personal choice if you are pregnant or nursing, as is everything that you put into your body or onto your body is a personal choice. But there is nothing harmful with this technology to any body or any age. There is nothing going into the body. So there can be no side effects or anything like that. Can you give the patch to a female child 12 years of age? Same thing that I just said, it's a personal choice. The first two people that I patched were my kids, but that's a personal choice. That you're the parent, you would make that choice. It's kind of like it, do I choose to take my child through McDonald's or not? It's a personal choice. So for me, again, this is not anything harmful. It can only help them. It cannot hurt them, but I cannot recommend that you use it just because we don't have clinical studies on kids. Yes, you can definitely do X39 during the day and Eon at night. Would X39 work for every issue? Every issue, everything, no matter what it is, absolutely 100%. Yes, stem cells are the holy grail of healing. The beautiful part about this is they're your stem cells. This is signaling your stem cells to repair, regenerate, rejuvenate, restore everything in the body. Why do we use other supportive patches? This patch, we've always used other supportive patches, right? For 20 years. This patch is going to get to whatever it wants first. You cannot pick what area is repaired first, because this is not an injection or a treatment to target a specific area. You may say, you know what, I've got bone on bone knee. I hear that all the time. Okay, fantastic. I cannot tell you it's going to repair your knee first. It may go to your spleen or your brain or your eyes or your kidneys. I have no idea, and neither do you, and there's no way to tell. So if you're telling me I have bone on bone knee issues, yes, you can use this X39. It will eventually get there, right? Remember I said 1 month for every 10 years you are old. It may take longer than that. It depends on what's going on inside of your body. How much of a wreck are you in there? I don't know. Do you even know, right? And so it may take longer to get to your area, or it may address your area first. Who knows? But I know that if you can support your body, if you tell me you have bone on bone knee issues, you can support your body by reducing the inflammation. You can also support your body with glutathione. Glutathione is fantastic to coat those joints, to make things really nice and lubricated in there. It's our master antioxidant, master detoxer, and immune booster. So it has many functions in the body, of course, as your immune system does. But this combo here works fantastically. And if you're in pain, use the IceWave. IceWave gets rid of pain immediately. That's what it does. It is literally designed only to eliminate pain on the spot. It is not going to get to the root of your problem. This is going to get to the root of your problem. This is just going to give you that quick fix to help you get through the pain. Okay. But yes, X39 is for absolutely every issue. Can menopausal women replace HRT? Well, if you're on HRT, obviously you're working with your physician. Please check with them. Of course, I don't want to say that you will, don't stop your medication by any means. Do I have menopausal women that we work with that are able to come off of their HRTs? Yes, we have. We've had literally probably I'd say thousands of women. You can type in menopause in the Telegram channel and find so many testimonials of women that share with their hot flashes, their night sweats, their weight gain, their irritability, their dryness, all that kind of stuff. So we've had great success using our patches to be able to help them to see more balance. Remember, this is all about balance in the body. And obviously menopause is something that's out of balance. Okay. And if you're reversing your age, then that's definitely gonna impact that. Father had cornea replacement 2 weeks ago. I'm not for sure if that was a question or not, so maybe you can clarify that. What are the components in the X39? Again, you mentioned amino acids, water, oxygen. Did the other patches have the same components, just more in a different meridians? That's a great question. So I don't want you to think of amino acids or sugars like sugar in your kitchen or amino acid supplement drink that you drink, right? Okay. So these are chiral stereoisomers. Chiral means reflecting back. So stereoisomers are specific compounds that come together in a very specific formation. And so the amino acids everything's organic. It's proprietary. Obviously, we have a 20-year patent on this patch alone, but the stem cell activation patch. But the oxygen, the water, the amino acids, the sugar, that solution forms a lattice, a crystal lattice structure, okay? And so that structure is different for each patch because the components, again, which of course are proprietary, meaning and the amounts of those amino acids and sugars and waters and salts and all of that together is different for every patch. And this is, again, clinically proven because we can show that when you apply the patch, it's not about the meridian point. It's about the patch signaling a peptide. So each patch signals a different peptide. So X39 is going to signal a peptide called GHKCU. X49 signals a different peptide, AHKCU. Glutathione signals a peptide in the liver. EON signals a different peptide in the liver. Alavita signals a peptide in the brain. So each patch has the same components, but different amounts of them that are doing different things. They form different lattice structures. So they signal different peptides in the body. That was a great question. But yes, we do use the patches on specific acupuncture points to impact those meridians. And if you look in the instruction booklet, every patch comes with an instruction booklet. And the instruction booklet will show you the options for the places that you can apply the patches. And each one has a different booklet and it has different acupuncture points. Remember, when you're doing clinical studies, you need controlled environments, controlled situations. The people need to be doing the same things. And so the participants of the studies, all of the studies, picked spots. They used spots because these spots were the ones based on the meridians on TCM that would impact whatever that patch was needing to do. But like, for example, with the X39, the EON, stick it on any spot. The ice wave, wherever the pain is, put it on that area. But some of them you do want to stay specific on what's based in the instruction booklet. Yes, X39 does increase your collagen production 100%. We can see that around that 3-month mark is really kind of when you start to see that really kick in with collagen. And we know collagen is the glue that holds your entire body together. It's not just about your hair, skin, and nails. It is about, there's 5 different types of collagen actually. So this is going to bring your collagen production back up to what it was when you were younger, and all of the types of collagen. So we have the collagen that's responsible for your digestive system, that's responsible for your metabolism. Like I said, your hair, skin, nails, your bones, like in your joints, your ligaments, they're literally the glue that holds everything inside of your body together. And as we age, literally starting at age 18, believe it or not, we lose 1% of collagen every single year after 18. And so it's really important that you're taking care of your body, of your collagen level, and keeping track of that. Okay. So that's really a huge benefit that X39 does. So let me see here. What of menopausal women for hot flashes? So that's again, I can't really specifically speak towards menopause, but I can say that women that are experiencing symptoms such as hot flashes have great success with that. So I will look at the X39. Now I've got just going everywhere. X39, Eon, SP6. SP6 balances the endocrine system, and as well as Alavita. These are fantastic. So you would wear these during the day and this one at night, or you could do these two during the day and these two at night. So that's what we kind of like to look at for women that are experiencing hot flashes and night sweats and the side effects of that. So when we look at, again, I can't talk about Hashimoto's, but I can talk about our endocrine system. And so when I look at the thyroid, which is where people develop the Hashimoto's from, I would look at X39, Eon, and SP6. Again, SP6 is balancing the endocrine system. Obviously, the thyroid is a big part of that endocrine system, and most people have thyroid issues, and that is huge that we keep that in balance. So we can see that this is definitely something that helps with your endocrine system. How do you know when to come off medication? So you're working with your doctor, right? You have a doctor that's prescribed that medication. You have a conversation with them and say, hey, I am going to be using some technology to be able to help my body. I do not want to be on medication anymore. And so I'm going to start using this to be able to come off of the medication. So I want to make sure that I do this correctly. How do you recommend that I start to wean off of this medication? Obviously, there's thousands. Literally, I did a class for my functional med degree, and the book was this thick, A to Z, every single prescription medication on the planet, and it's this thick, and the pages were this little, and the book was this tall, and it was like teeny tiny print. And every single interaction with every supplement, every food, every drink, every herb. So talk to your doctor because it depends on what medications you're on. So I can't speak to a specific time frame on any medication, but just have that combo. So I remember someone sharing about wearing X39 on their jaw, and it helped build their bone mass in their mouth. In that case, could it be worn at night on your jaw to help strengthen the gum for loose teeth? So X39 and X49 is our combo. David just released this X49 last year. We've had a couple years now of clinical studies with that. And so it was just released last November. The studies, even the most recent that were in just a couple months ago, show massive improvements in stopping bone loss and improving bone density, bone growth. And so you would use these together. I would use them both during the day. You don't have to put them on your jaw to affect your jaw. They're working systemically no matter what. So you can put them on your jaw if you want to, but I would not wear these at night. These are daytime patches, and you would put them on the back of the neck or below the belly button. If you're a female, you would go below the belly button. Male for the X49 can go back of neck or belly button, either one. That's what David has said. So I would definitely use them, but only use them during the daytime. They do a lot. X49 was created to build lean muscle mass, to reduce body fat, improve bone density, stop bone loss. So it's huge. We have studies with grip strength, bicep strength, push-ups, squats, core strength, endurance, reducing blood pressure. It's huge for the brain. It literally blocks EMFs. Like, this combo is massive. Would X39 interfere with a new cornea? No, it would not interfere with the new cornea at all. Nope. Can you recommend the supplements that are beneficial when we reach the age of 60? So I won't be talking about supplements tonight. You'd have to get back with the person that invited you here, and you can maybe have a conversation with them about that. David does make recommendations in some of his videos about some supplements, not age specific, but just some things that you would want to be on. But we won't have time to talk about that tonight. I apologize. You can send me a message if you want to, but we're going to stick to just the patches. If you get younger with X39, will you go back to having acne? That's a great question. No, actually, we see huge improvements in the skin with the X39. And actually, Alavita is our reverse aging for the skin product, even though this makes, for me, my husband, and my chiropractor, both at around 3 weeks, are like, something's different with your skin. And it was just from using the X39 So, but the aloe vera definitely is reversing the age as far as wrinkles, lines, dark spots. We see that with the X39 too. But this is our skin reversal, spots, psoriasis, eczema, the patches, the dark, the white patches. It lengthens telomeres. It reduces oxidative stress. But you will not have acne again as you did when you were a child. You will look and feel like you're 25 years old. So I'm waiting for the 25 to catch up on the outside. I always say that, but I am 25 at the cellular age, but no acne. Any suggestions for neuropathy? So again, that's one of those things I can't specifically speak towards that, but I can say if you're having pain in your feet or your hands, nerve type of pain, tingling, numbness, that kind of stuff, X39 Eon is your starting point. You would definitely use the LifeWave on the bottoms of your feet, the pad of your feet, like it's this part right here. In the center, it's called K1. You would put the white one on your right and the tan one on your left of the LifeWave to help open up the energy channels in your whole body. If it's your wrist, I've had people that have numbness or tinglingness in their hands. You can put the X39 on each, the LifeWave on each wrist to help with that, opening up those energy channels as well too. So that would be a great suggestion as well. You can use glutathione, carnosine. Those are only going to help the body to repair as well because they're huge antioxidants, right? The patches eliminated your hot flashes, sweats, and dryness in about 2 weeks. Ooh, good to know. X39, Eon, SP6, and glutathione helps too. Thanks for sharing that, Kendra. Appreciate that. Will the patch help reverse damage done by COVID to someone who has had severe cases and now suffers long-term issues? I get asked about long haulers all the time, and that hasn't technically been considered a disease or disorder yet, I don't think. At least I haven't heard it classified as that. But if you have long-term side effects from having a virus, however long ago, then can the patches help get your body back into balance? Absolutely, they can. We love to use X39 and Eon, of course. We also love to use the carnosine and the glutathione. These are our two big antioxidants that our body makes, but that decline as we age. When you think about antioxidants get rid of free radicals. They find the damaged cells and parts in our body that do not belong and eliminate them. So we all want to make sure we're getting rid of damaged cells and tissues and things in our body that are foreign or not foreign that we want out. And so the glutathione and carnosine are huge for that. So you would use these four. You can use these two daytime, these two night, or I do literally all four of these every single day. Why do I do them every day? Because I want to make sure that I'm staying young, and I know that reverse aging is an inside job. I want to obviously make sure I have no inflammation in my body, keep that low, make sure my glutathione, carnosine level are high, because I know what this does for my brain and my heart and my muscles and what it does for my immune system. I'm all about prevention and vitality and longevity and wellness. And so I would definitely use these if you have someone that has long-term symptoms and side effects. Another benefit would be using energy enhancer, or depending on their fatigue level, the first patch that David invented for the SEALs, right? Energy enhancer helps to turn over that lymphatic system, getting that stuff out of your body faster. So if you're not someone that exercises, your lymphatic system is pretty sluggish. So your ability to remove toxins and excess from your body is diminished greatly without exercise. And so energy enhancer helps to turn over that lymphatic system. It turns body fat into fuel. Like I said, it does burn an extra 300 to 600 calories a day, which is fantastic. But we love this to help get rid of the excess phlegm, especially when you put it up here on these points, up here on the top where it shows in the book. See our Navy SEAL right there? He's got those two patches, white right, tan left. And so those spots right there are fantastic to get that excess out of your lungs as well too. So if LifeWave doing any studies on helping folks recover from the adverse reactions of, yeah, actually we are, but they are not public. For obvious reasons. They are not public, but David does talk about them in person from time to time, and I have been on a Zoom with him where he's actually shared slides from light field and dark field microscopy from the participants that are participating. He has ongoing studies. He works directly with doctors here, especially in the United States, on that. But they're not public, so you won't be able to see them. Are there any patches that an organ transplant recipient can use or not use? So if you've had an organ transplant, you have an organ in your body, like your kidney is gone and you have someone else's kidney, or your heart is gone and you have someone else's heart, you're on serious immunosuppressant medications. David recommends, because we don't have clinical studies with people that are on that in that situation where they've had other, organs and they're on immunosuppressant medications, he recommends that you don't use X39 because we don't have clinical studies. And so when you increase stem cell production, your body goes to work to repair and regenerate and fix everything that's damaged, but there's an organ in there that's not its own. And so he said, I don't know that it would harm, but I don't want to take the chance. So I just don't want to recommend that. And obviously they're not doing studies. Now, I do remember last year watching a Zoom with a lady that had a kidney transplant. And she's like, oh my God, I've been using these patches for 3 months. This X39 is the best thing in the world. And we're like, oh, she's alive. she's just, no one told her. And she was 3 months into using the X39, and she's had her list was gone, and she had the best life. Like everything was completely amazing, and she'd had a kidney transplant. So I'm like, oh my God, she had no idea. The person that sold her the patches obviously didn't tell her. They didn't know, whatever. So thank God. But so I do know that one person has successfully had a kidney transplant and used the patches and is doing really well. But again, just because of clinical studies. So can you use more than one or two of the patches when you start, like X39, for example, or you don't need to use more than one of them? David says if you use more than one, you're going to get maybe 20 to 30% increase. It's not worth the price or that patch, wasting that patch to get that little extra bump. Now, if you have an acute injury, so for example, when my son sprained his ankle earlier this year in basketball, I patched 3 patches, X39, Eon, carnosine on that ankle every single day. He's 17. He has tons of stem cells. His body repairs itself like this, but I wanted to boost that area, right? And so I peppered that foot and ankle. He didn't bruise. He was supposed to be on crutches for 2 weeks. He was back on the court in 7 days and dunking in 2 weeks. So I did do that for him, but you don't need to multiple patch. It's not required, not necessary, not going to give you that much more of a benefit. So fantastic. I love you guys sharing. What patches would you help with toenail fungus? So you would definitely use the X39, Eon, and glutathione. Absolutely, 100%. Glutathione, the master detoxer. Get that stuff out of your body. You've got fungus. That means you've got an overgrowth. We want to address that, right? Do you have to use the SP6 complete for a certain number of days before you start to see results? Because I haven't detected any change in appetite or cravings yet. So we're all different in that area. I never noticed a difference in my appetite or cravings either. I wore that thing for like 3 months when we first got started in the tummy reduction protocol. And I loved it. It was fantastic. I never noticed anything with my cravings or my appetite. But we're all different. I literally have people tell me, I interviewed a lady last Thursday and she lost 57 pounds in 4 months. And she uses that SP6 and she's like, the weight flew off. I had another guy tell me that he lost like 20 pounds in 2 months. Boom, weight flew off from the SP6. I didn't see weight fly off, but yet I also didn't need to lose weight. I was just using it just to check to make sure my endocrine system was in check, just kind of like, oh, let's just use this and whatever. But we're all different with what we experience and feel and don't feel. I don't think you're going to feel your endocrine system getting back into balance. I think you may, if you have any symptoms from your endocrine system being out of balance, you may see those come back in. But I don't ever promote it as something for cravings and metabolism, but it is what it says on the package. I always just talk about the endocrine system. Think of your pituitary, think of your thyroid, right? Think of your adrenals. Most people have major adrenal issues. So helping to get that into balance is really important. Fantastic, Gloria. Thank you for sharing. Do you think a woman could begin having a menstrual cycle again with age reversal? So that's a great question. I don't want to say yes, everyone's going to start their cycle again, but we have had some people. We've had also some people that have kind of spotted some. Remember, when this is about getting the body in the balance. And so if there's an excess, if there's things that are not supposed to be in your body that are there, whether it be, old, decayed blood or toxins or whatever. We want to make sure that we're, okay with some of that stuff coming out, right? That could possibly happen. I'm not going to say that everybody's going to start having their period again. Definitely not. But sometimes it could happen, or even it could extend the length of your period because, you're young. Right. And we know that it's really important to have that menstrual cycle every single month to shed that lining. That's part of your hormone process to keeping your body young and youthful. That's why young people have them and older don't. I can't keep the energy enhancer and carnosine patches on. I have to wrap my arms, wrist, etc. in order to keep them on. I haven't been able to keep any of them on during a shower. So if you're not keeping them on in your arms or your wrist, pick a different spot. So with energy enhancer, I like the inside of my ankles or this area right here in front of my knee, or looking up here. I don't do this area. I wash my hands. I'm in water way too much to do wrists or arms. So I like them up in here. Carnosine, I do center of the chest. So I don't know when you're applying them. Maybe if for you, for some reason, like I said, they were created for the seals. I literally have to go underneath and pull mine off every night. They do not want to come off for some reason on me. They want to stay on. But if you find that, just wait till after your shower before you put them on. Or maybe this happens sometimes with people that if we find if you're a little bit toxic, that your patches may not stick as well in the beginning. So maybe do a little glutathione as well too to help with that toxicity. Reducing blood pressure 40 points by adding energy enhancer to X39. I've not heard specifically of energy enhancer reducing blood pressure, but I have, obviously, I know of a lot of people that have reduced their blood pressure using this technology, using the X39, Eon, carnosine. That's huge for your heart, X49. What effect would X39 have on congenital issues such as congenital adrenal? Oh my gosh, see, again, that's a disease, so I can't specifically speak towards that. I would talk to your physician and I would share with them the information, the science, the research on SP6 and how that works with the adrenal glands and X39. Obviously, we do have a lot of people that have different types of congenital things, but I can't speak directly to what you're talking about. I would just definitely check with your physician and ask them with the information with this technology. It cannot hurt you. It's not going to damage anything in the body. Obviously, it can only help get it into balance, but I can't say it's going to repair that congenital problem either. It depends on the genes that are reset, because again, it's resetting. The X39 is resetting a third of your genes, and we know each gene expresses to two other genes, so there is that compound effect of improving your gene function and it functioning as it should be functioning. So it's not going to harm you, but I would definitely check with your doctor. And yes, the Zoom is definitely recorded. Absolutely. I will be uploading it to my YouTube after we're finished. So we have a few more minutes. Do you guys have any questions? I think Maria has her hand up. Do you have a question you want to unmute? If you do, you can unmute yourself, or if you have any more questions, to type in the chat. Yes, I will have this uploaded to my YouTube channel after we're done. And once I have it uploaded, then I will share it with my team. And you can definitely get with the person that invited you. They will have access to it. We have a team page and a team chat. And so they'll have access to this. It's on my YouTube channel also. It's Dr. Stacy, just DRSTACI. And you'll be able to pull it from there. It usually takes about a 30 to 45 minute process for Zoom to convert it and then YouTube to upload it. So definitely. Maria, did you have a question?
Oh, hello, Dr. Stacy. I love your energy.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I have two questions. The first one is, what if you develop pain in the area of the patch at the top of the neck? Mm-hmm. And the second one is, what is the structure of the business model of this company?
Okay, great questions. Okay, so if, for example, you put the patch on the back of your neck and you're like, oh, it's kind of hurting there, take it and put it on your belly button. Put it below your belly button, stick it somewhere else, right? So we're all different in what's going on in our body, where aches and pains are, where old aches and pains used to be, it's going to work to repair. So sometimes when it starts to repair, some people start to feel old pains or things that didn't bother, maybe even as they're, 2, 3, 4 months into patching, they're like, wait, my hip's hurting again. Why is my hip hurting? My hip hasn't hurt for 20 years. Well, things are moving around in there. We're getting things, we're going to start repairing. So again, I didn't experience that personally, but we're all different with what we do feel and experience, because there's no one body that's the same on the inside. It's crazy. And then as far as your business structure and model, I actually
can I just follow up with that answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Stretch marks. Kendra did answer that question for me. Just want to double check. If you have stretch marks below the belly button, this I think is a Yang patch X39. So you move it slightly to the right.
So that's getting a little bit more technical because she's into acupuncture. So I don't get that technical because I know some points in meridians, but with her specializing in that, you can definitely take her recommendations. I have a C-section. I have no problem patching right over all of that. Stretch marks, I haven't had any issues with anything, and I haven't heard any complaints about it, but you can definitely do whatever works best for you or whatever, play around with it. See, I mean, here's the thing. I can hold this patch and it's working. It is working right now because I have my hands on it. I can have it here and it be this close and it's still working. Our body's heat or light has about a 4-inch width outside of the body. And so I can literally have it right here and it's still working to increase and activate my stem cell production. So it's not about where is it on the skin, where is it on the body. You can hold it and it's working systemically throughout the entire body. And that's proven through the clinical studies. So if your skin is, if you have a scar or if you have, stretch marks or things are bumpy or whatever, it's still going to work. Stick it somewhere else then. Stick it somewhere where there's not a scar if you're worried about it. Put that aloe vera on that scar area. Let's repair that. Because I interviewed Lillian today on my personal page and she's like, oh my God, my scar was from my ankle to my knee and, it's so dark and you can barely see it. And I'm excited for it to be completely gone in the next year. And so it's just, moving around, do whatever you want, but know that she's not patching her scar for it to go away. She's putting the patch behind her neck or below her belly button, Yeah.
And the business model question.
Yeah. So business model, I actually have a Zoom tomorrow night at 8 p.m. This same Zoom number at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. And so I
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Correct. Yeah.
I won't be able to make that.
Business stuff. It's also recorded. And so this is informational for the product only. So if you want more information on the business, obviously get back with the person that invited you. You can go to my YouTube channel though. I do have recordings of previous business model and information compensation plan, whatnot on my YouTube channel, Dr. Stacy. So you can see those if tomorrow night doesn't work for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are welcome. Okay, so a couple more questions. Does the lotion body face impact how the patches work? So I use lotion on my entire body every single day. I put the aloe vera trio, day cream, night cream, and I have lotion on my body all day long. So it does not impact how the patches work at all. If you feel like you want to clean your skin, you can obviously clean your skin, put your patch on before that. I mean, I bathe daily, but if you want to clean off with alcohol or something, you can, but that is absolutely not required. Again, you can hold it like this and it's working. So lotion is not going to stop it. It is not going into the skin. There is nothing going through the skin at all. This is working at the speed of light with light. It's a wearable light technology. It's a biophotonic exchange of information. So no lotion's going to prevent this from working. I promise you that. So 12-hour rule for pets. Pets are pets. Sometimes they leave it on, sometimes they don't. They don't have to have it on 12 hours. You're going to put it on you first, then stick it on their collar, stick it on them, throw it in their bed. My poodle was chewing on one of the patches today. She pulled it out of the trash can in the bathroom and she was chewing on it. I'm like, oh, great. You're getting a little aloe vera from last night. Fantastic. So it doesn't have to be 12 hours. No rule for sure. Thank you so much, Laura. Yes, if you have more information, clinical studies, all of that, startx39now.com is the site to check out. You can change languages on that as well too. And there are lots of information on there, videos for doctors and practitioners as well. If you guys have any questions, please, again, we get back with the person that invited you. I am grateful you guys are here and have joined us. Please know that we do this every single Tuesday. This is a different format where I share the science and tech and answer your questions. But I want to make sure that you know that we do meet on Zooms at 9 p.m. Eastern throughout the week and interview different people every single night that share their personal testimonial. So if you have questions, get back with the person that invited you. If they cannot answer your questions, we are all connected and we all work together. So we'll make sure that you get your questions answered. So thank you all for being here tonight. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Happy 1st of November. And let's enjoy the next couple months and make sure that we're doing the best we can to enjoy our family and friends and have our best quality of life so we can feel better and enjoy that time that we have with them. So thank you all.